What's up, guys? Mason the Brock Henderson here. This is Bones, Season 11, Episode 15, The Fight and the Fixer. So, it's getting better, slowly. I would still say that it's still got some work to do, but there are a couple good things about this episode. One, Hodgins is back. He's no longer a jackass to everyone. He's no longer just completely blowing everyone off, being a jerk to Angela, all of this stuff. Oh, poor pitiful me, I can't walk anymore. That was frustrating as hell. He's finally getting that sort of spirit back of, okay, let's do this. Whenever the body comes in frozen in ice, he's like, I got an experiment. I'm like, Hodgins experiment? Hodgins experiment? Yes! It was very exciting to see. He's finally back. He's finally back into the rhythm of things. He's not all, poor pitiful me. Yeah, you're king of the land. That was so frustrating. But at the same time, he's now sort of overcompensating to where, he was a complete jerk to Angela, which I ragged on a lot. Now that he's realized that, now he is going the entire opposite side and being way too nice. He almost feels like he's not worthy of her. In fact, he kind of felt like that last episode, to the point where he tried to divorce her so that she could get everything, all of his money, all of his life savings, all of that stuff, because he felt so bad about it. Now, because she wants to stay with him, now he's buying her jewelry, he's being way too nice, way too nice. And it's kind of having the opposite effect than he was hoping. In his mind, he's thinking, okay, so if I be really nice to her, it'll make up for all this. And she's just like, look, you don't have to be like that. Just be my husband, So I like the fact that it's actually a bit more realistic now. Because before, it was not realistic at all. Hodgins being a jerk to her didn't make a whole lot of sense. He was just taking out his frustration on the one woman that stood beside him through it all. And that's what was frustrating about it. Now, it actually feels realistic in the fact that, yeah, this is how a normal person would react. How Angela's reacting. Just, we're husband and wife. I love you. Stop being a jerk, obviously, but you don't have to go to the entire other side. I just want you to be there for me, So I do like this. I do like what they're doing now. It's finally fixed. It's finally past that. I just hate that it took so long. It took 4 episodes, I think. So anyway, that's nice. The other good thing is the case itself, although it has a lot of the Bones cliches in it, it ends on a pretty good note in that Aubrey finds out that his dad is looking into him and he's back in town. Which we've heard about Aubrey's dad before, but I didn't think he was in the picture anymore. I thought he was in jail. I thought he was dead. I'd heard about him and how, what a terrible criminal he was, but I didn't think he was actually still around. So to hear that he's back in town and he's looking up on Aubrey gets me pretty excited to see what's going to happen next. We've seen recently another show where one of the main characters' dads is not necessarily a nice guy, and then it ended on a pretty poor note in that the dad turns out to actually be a nice guy. Just the son was exaggerating. So in this case, I want to see a very emotional turn of events for Aubrey. Because in all reality, I've said this before, he really is my favorite character right now. He's the only one that really has much of a character. He's the only one that has any character growth right now. And he's the most fun whenever he's on the screen. His little one-liners, how he's always eating. He actually makes the show enjoyable whenever he's there, which is very weird for me to say about a guy. Anyway, no, but he's the one good character that they have right now. So it's nice to see that we're going to get a bit of story with him. It's always nice to see whenever a good character gets a good story put on them. So I hope they take good turns with that. However, onto the bad stuff. The case itself, like I said, pretty forgettable and a lot of cliches involved. You've got, there's so many times. You've got a guy who's in charge of an office, and he's got a secretary who's hot. They're probably having an affair. And sure enough, they are having an affair. Although, I don't know if this was necessarily... It was a bit different as far as how the case worked out. Most of the time, it's either the very first person you meet, which in this case was the wife, or it's like you're questioning all these people, and then the very last person with like 5 minutes left in the episode, very last person they question, that's who it is. In this case, they actually brought the secretary in for questioning a good 20 minutes before the show ended, and then questioned her. She had an alibi, and then came back and said, no, we found out your alibi was crap, and we have proof that you were there. So it didn't play out like a typical Bones case. It did have a bit different feel, which is nice to see. It wasn't a straightforward Bones case where, oh, it's the wife, or oh, it's not her, not him. Oh, now it's that person. So that was nice to see as well. But it still did have a lot of, you still have the weird stuff in this case. You still got the weird fetishes, and they're all talking about like, ooh, he's got this fetish, he likes being dressed up like a baby. Do you have to make such a big deal about it? I get people are weird, people have weird fetishes, but it's almost like the show likes to glorify fetishes, like, oh, what's this guy into? It's kinky. I don't get it. I don't get why that gets so much focus when you could be focusing on other important things. A lot of people who have fetishes now are just going to hate me. I don't care. No, but the case was pretty forgettable overall. I just remember the secretary did it, and the guy who was killed had something to do with Aubrey's father, and that's the important thing in this case. That's going to be what I remember when I think back. Oh, that case, yeah, that guy got killed, and someone was blackmailing him because he wanted to dress up like a baby, and secretary did it. Oh, and then Aubrey's father. Yeah, that's what was... So anyway, the other bad thing in this episode was the whole Christine thing. They've had some really weird and boring stuff with Booth and Brennan before. I remember one episode dealt with, whether or not they were going to tell Christine that the Tooth Fairy does exist. And of course Brennan's like, why? She shouldn't believe in stuff that doesn't exist. And then at the end of the episode, Aubrey was like, well, people like Brennan made everybody, said that the world wasn't flat, and look at what happened. I'm like, it's the Tooth Fairy. It doesn't matter. There's another episode where they're arguing about whether or not to get a TV in the bedroom. I'm like, this one is not as dumb as those, but how they handle it is really dumb. You've got Christine, who gets all E pluses, which is exemplary. That's the word. Wow, my brain hurts. No, but she's getting all E pluses in all of her classes. This Oliver guy, the guy who's just a jerk to everybody, he's pretty much what Hodgins was in the past few episodes. But he hears about this and just starts critiquing Christine. Like, oh, her art, it's not good at all. I mean, just look at that picture. You see that? The standards in my day were a lot harder. I'm like, are we being serious? I mean, I know this guy is a jerk, but is he just an idiot too? Is that what this is? Because this is dumb. This is so dumb. And then sure enough, we end up having this huge fiasco that he thinks one of the E pluses on her, her grade sheet is actually an E minus, and that she wrote in made it a plus. Yeah, an E minus was actually an E plus. So instead of being kind of exemplary, instead of being really exemplary, she was just kind of exemplary. E minus. That's not good at all. And then at the end of the episode, we find out, yeah, a different pen was used. I'm like, yeah, because teachers don't run out of pens at some point. Because obviously, if a different pen was used, it had to be Christine. She's got to be the guilty party. I mean, she's got to be the... I mean, we go to this guy's house, and there's a knife. Bloody knife used in this killing in his drawer. A bloody knife in his drawer. It has to be that guy. It couldn't be his wife or kids. It has to be that guy. And it can't be anybody else planted there. It's that guy. Really? First of all, why is this a big deal? As I said before, E plus. E minus. Here's the average. We're still above average here, people. This is not like she changed a not good. You know, it's not like she used whiteout and whited out over a not good and put E plus. It's not like she changed that. It's an E minus to an E plus. Even if she did change it, who cares? It's still an E minus. Like, would you like a 100 or would you like a 92? Either one's an A, right? Yep. I don't care. Okay, you're getting the 92. Okay, that's fine with me. It's so stupid that they're even arguing over this. And then at the end, after Hodgins find out, oh yeah, a different pen was used, and then Brennan loses the bet, and she ends up having to leave a voicemail that talks about how great Oliver is, we find out, oh, big shock, somehow nobody else except for Booth for some reason could even notice this. Oh, flip it over. Look at the pen marks on the back where the teacher signed. It's a different pen. Nobody thought to look at the other pen marks? Nobody. We just, what? Are you serious? It's too late to be doing this right now. It's 2:45 in the afternoon, and I'm done with this crap. How on earth could you not look at the other pen marks? Besides the fact that there are other E pluses on there, which maybe you could have looked at those pen marks to analyze those, you've also got a teacher signature on the back. And nobody thought, hey, let's analyze this. Let's compare all of the pen marks. If this is actually as big a deal as they're making it, why not do that? I mean, they're really making it a huge deal, and yet for some reason didn't test all of the avenues. They just tested that one plus sign, and that was all it took. Oh, it's a different pen mark. It has to be Christine. Christine's the only one that could have changed it. This one moment was not enough to necessarily bring down my opinion of this episode. Most of the time, Bones does have a moment like that, where it's like, it's so bad, I actually hated the rest of the episode because of that one moment. This one moment was not enough to do that. It was still really, really dumb. You know, the entire thing, and then even the fact that Oliver, whenever Hodgins comes in, he's like, I got results for both the case and this plus sign thing. And Oliver's just like, let's get the plus sign thing. I'm like, yeah, because that's so much more important than finding out who a killer is. Is this guy stupid? I think this guy's stupid. Anyway, but like I said, this is not enough to bring down this episode. It's still better than the other episodes. The case is better. The stuff with Aubrey is better. The stuff with Hodgins and Angela is better. So, overall, better episode. Just please, 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 can we cut out the stupid stuff? Like the really stupid stuff. Like the stuff when you actually think about it, it makes you want to just bang your head up against a wall. Next time I do a review, there may be a hole in that wall. Just maybe. Probably not. My head already hurts enough. So, anyway, those are my thoughts on this episode. I'm excited to see where the stuff with Aubrey's dad is going. Hopefully we get it next week. I didn't see the previews. But it would be nice to see if that stuff comes in next week or if we have to wait. I would hate that, but yeah, it's worth the wait, I think. I think it's going to be good. I'm hoping it's going to be good. This show has let me down a lot recently, so yeah. Anyway, let me know what you thought down in the comments below. If there's anything I missed that you want to discuss, just let me know. Leave a like and subscribe for more bones, and I will see you at the next review. Peace out.